Fantastic start to your week. Coming at you for a really quick live today to kick off your week on the right foot. Coming at you with a little Mindset Monday on the topic of how to know when to make the next investment into your business. So this was actually a question. I got asked this question during an interview last week. I was in somebody else's group doing an interview, and somebody asked me, Blake, how do you know when is the next time for you to make an investment in your business? Or how do you know when it's time to say, okay, let's move on to a new opportunity? And I want to talk on that topic today because I think this is, although it's a very tough question to answer directly, I think more than anything, it's a mindset-based question. I think me sharing my mindset behind this question will be very beneficial to you guys. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Before we dive in, for those that are watching and joining me, drop a hashtag live below. For those that are watching the replay, drop a hashtag replay below. So when is the best time for you to make the next investment into your business? When I look back at my journey, going back to the very beginning stages, after spending 4 years of struggle, jumping from Amazon FBA to drop shipping to running an Instagram page, growing an Instagram page and doing paid shout outs to you name it, I pretty much tried it, trying to make money online and grow my online business and ultimately achieve my goals. The only real investment I made during that time, aside from a couple of very small courses or inexpensive courses that I purchased, was investing into inventory for my Amazon FBA business, which looking back at it was not a smart investment because I was basing that investment upon free content I was consuming. I was trying to train myself on Amazon FBA through free YouTube videos, and then I went out and took a chance and stuck $2,500 into inventory to launch my first product. With all that aside, and that story known, none of those were a success. None of those ventures were successful itself, which led me to going back to my 9-to-5 job after college, doing what was safe, bringing money in with this job, working 60, 70 hours a week as I jumped up to a management position at that job itself, all while continuing to pursue my goal of growing a successful online business. But that was the time where things really started to set home for me. And I realized, you know what, if I'm working 70 hours a week, I need to invest into my business now, and I need to invest in my skills more than ever, because if I don't, I'm going to be working towards this goal of mine for the next 10 years and never seeing the life of it. So I took a chance and made my first investment with someone that I trusted on the surface. I didn't know super well, but I trusted them. I liked what they taught, the message behind it, and I felt for the stage of my journey that this was the best decision for me. So I jumped in that first $2,500 investment. It felt weird at the time. It didn't feel normal because I wasn't used to it. But I think more than anything with it, I went into it with the right mindset. I said, you know what? If I'm going to take $2,500 out and put it into my business, I'm going to disconnect from the result. I'm going to show up. I'm going to apply myself 150%. And I know that if I do that, the results will follow with it. And that's exactly what I did. I showed up. I implemented. I took action. I had my first 1K day in the first month, my first 5K month in the first 3 months, and my first 10K month within the first 4 months. Now, I could have at that point said, you know what, let's keep doing this. Why fix it if it's not broke? I'm making progression, results are moving. Let's keep rolling. And I could have blocked out all other opportunities of investments along the way throughout last year. But I looked at it as the opposite. I said, you know what, I got good results from this program, and these helped me develop my skills. This program helped me develop a lot of skills I needed to develop, especially within marketing and sales. But I know my skills aren't where they need to be. And I know more than anything, I need to continue to evolve as an entrepreneur myself and develop these skills at a higher level to create that competitive advantage for myself and to ultimately continue to propel to new levels. And I think this instance alone is where a lot of people pause and they say, you know what? Why would I invest into another program if what I'm doing is already working? And you look at me last year and I made one investment, made it work for me, got great ROI from it actually pretty quickly. And then I went on to spend another $45,000 last year into other mentorship programs, into other coaches, into other trainings. And some of you might be sitting back saying, why would you put that much money into your business if what you were doing is working? The reason I did that is because, like I just said, I wanted to create that competitive advantage for myself. I wanted to get an idea of what all that was working within the space that I was in. Not going out and buying a Facebook ads course and a YouTube course and an Instagram course. I was buying coaching and training and mentorship specific to the platform that I was focused on, but more than anything, specific to the skill sets that I was focused on developing. Because I knew that if I did that, I would be able to separate myself from everybody else out there. And I would be able to achieve results much greater, much more efficient, much more quickly than the majority of others. Because I knew that all I needed to do was go in, apply, implement, refine, learn, rinse and repeat. And I did that over and over again. Now, throughout that entire year, I had some investments that were great, some investments that, not so much. But out of spending that entire $45,000, if I had to say I would go back and take one of those back and not do it, I wouldn't take any of them back. Because I know that each and every single one of them, at the very minimum, provided me with one mental breakthrough that allowed me to propel to the next level. And that's the way I look at investing into coaching programs, training, and mentorship. If I can join this and get one small aha moment or mental breakthrough that allows me to completely transform the way I look at one element of my business, it's a win. Because I know that will lead to results. So to answer the question of, Blake, when is it the right time for me to make my next investment? I think the biggest thing is looking at where you're at, always being aware of where you're at in your journey, and always knowing what skills you know that need to be developed. And I can tell you right now, if you're below $15K a month, those skills should be marketing and sales focused. Because if you can understand how to effectively market your offer and how to effectively sell that offer, you will get to 10, 15K, and 20K months. And then you can start developing other skills to complement that. But the core of where the focus should be to start is marketing and sales. That's it. So if you invested into a program 6 months ago and you're not making the sales that you want to make, you're not bringing in leads for the offer, and you're feeling confused on how to market that offer and how to sell it, it may be time for you to look into a new perspective to make that happen. But I think a lot of times what we tend to do, or what most people tend to do, is they say, you know what, I put 6K into this program or 3K into this program a couple months ago. I should really go back and rewatch that training and try to make that work. And that's all good and fine, but there's a reason that you didn't go all into it to begin with. So for you to go back 6 months later and try to rewatch it and think you're going to see some magical new outcome, the chances are slim to none. And if there's one thing that I've realized, even with the success of the students that I've worked with, where they've been in a variety of programs before working with me, and they come in and start working with me, and after our first coaching call, they land a $2,000 sale within their first week to week and a half. Number one, it's because I'm able to help them shift their focus towards the right things. But number two, by helping them shift that focus and align that focus, it's leading to that one breakthrough aha moment where they can realize in complete clarity what they need to do to make the results they want to make happen. And sometimes that's all it takes. And I know that many of you listening right now are watching this on the replay tomorrow. Some of you have probably heard about my workshop going down this month. Many of you are going to sit back and say, you know what? I just put money into this program 6 months ago or 3 months ago. I need to wait off and not do this. And for some of you, that may be the right choice. But I know that for many of you that aren't generating leads consistently, that aren't making sales happen consistently, and that aren't achieving new levels of growth in their business, it's usually a sign that something isn't working. At this stage, you can go and figure things out on your own and try to connect those dots, go and rewatch training, and frustrate yourself more in doing that. Or you can say, you know what, it's time for me to get a new, fresh perspective. I know that Blake has gotten these results. I know that what he teaches works. I know that I've really wanted to work with him for a while. I know that this is a great opportunity for me to get not just a taste of what he teaches, but to get the core of the most important element that he teaches in this workshop. So I know that if I want to create a competitive advantage for myself, if I want to put myself in a position to generate new levels of momentum, then I need to jump on this. And this is honestly why I kept this workshop to 15 people. Because I don't want to have a bunch of people that say, you know what, I put money into another program 3 to 6 months ago. I'll try this and I'll join this free workshop or this $47 workshop and give it a try. And I get hundreds of signups to do that. I could do that. I could have done that when I launched this workshop itself. But I wanted to take the opposite approach, because when I offer something like that, where you say, I'll try it, I'll give it a shot and see what it does, you're not going into it with the right mindset. But if I say, you know what, this is for 15 people, the price isn't cheap, it's not super expensive, but it's not cheap because what I'm teaching you ultimately generated me over $200,000. And the people that join this workshop, the reason I want it to be a limited amount of people and also not be cheap is because I want these people to go into this saying, you know what, Blake's here to give me a new perspective. I'm here to develop my skills. I'm ready to go all in and apply myself with this. And I'm ready to get results because of that. And I know that with that approach, I'll help and impact so many more people, even by limiting it to only 15. I could open this up to 100 people, made it $47, had 100 people sign up, and probably 3 to 5 people would get results because 95% of the remaining signups would have said, you know what, I'll try this when I get to it, or I'll dive into that later. But this is different. This is people that are ready to dive in, go 150% with this, join me live as I share with them the heartbeat behind my business, the process that allowed me to scale to 40K, 50K months, 100% organically. The process that allowed me to escape unqualified conversations, long combos in Messenger, a calendar booked full of unqualified calls. Because that's where I used to be. I used to be in the exact same shoes that many of you were. Early on in my journey, aside from my 9-to-5 job, I would have a calendar full of either calls and opportunities that I was trying to make the most of and make happen, but a lot of times they were just unqualified prospects. I would spend hours a day during the small windows of time that I had at lunch, before work, after work, hustling in Messenger, starting new conversations, trying to create opportunities to fix this income problem that I was trying to solve. And I was making it a lot more difficult on myself than I needed to. And that's why I really sat down and said, you know what, let's look at what I'm doing in this process. Let's look at these investments that I've made. Let's figure out what's working. Let's eliminate what's not working. And let's make it even more powerful than what these mentors did that taught me this. And I spent months refining the process, testing new things. Until finally, I'm at the stage where I am now, where I am inviting a small group of 15 people to come behind the scenes with me and hang out with me for over 5 hours as I go over my shoulder and share this clarity-driven process that I've distilled down to a 2-day workshop. Because I know that the 15 action takers that join this will be able to leave this workshop with complete control of their business, knowing that they now are armed with everything that they need to drive consistent lead flow, to feel confident with what they put out in their content, to feel confident in their conversations, and to ultimately land more high-ticket sales and actually scale their business to the goals they want to scale it to. So without going too far off track here on this Mindset Monday, the biggest thing that I want each of you to realize is everyone's at a different point of their journey. Everybody has different skill sets. But by investing into high income skills and developing those skills for yourself, no investment is a bad investment. The only investment that is a bad investment is the one that's not actually being applied and used. So if you're going to buy this workshop and not look at any of the content, I wouldn't want you to buy it. But if you're going to buy this workshop and apply it, then I invite you to join me, because you're developing the most important skills of what you need right now in your business. And you're putting yourself in a position to gain that new perspective, to develop those skills, and to propel yourself to the next level. So for those of you wondering, when should I make my next investment? Remember that the last thing you want to do is sit behind the scenes like someone that I was speaking to last week that told me, I invested $2,500 16 months ago, they said. And here they are 16 months later, after investing into a program that was supposed to help them make more high-ticket sales, and they've not made a high-ticket sale yet. They knew they needed this workshop. They knew they wanted to join me, but they came back and said to me, I think I'm going to go back and rewatch that training that I purchased 16 months ago, because I know that I didn't pick up everything possible within it. And I left the conversation at that point. Number one, because it's not worth me trying to persuade them and say, hey, you know what? It's time to move on and try something new. But number two, because they can't see that for themselves. And I want to work with people that are ready to actually dive into what I'm about to teach them. Not clinging on to something from the past, because the moment that you do that, you will forever stay stuck in the same spot, and you'll not ever achieve new levels of growth. So don't cling on to an investment that you made 12 months ago, 2 years ago. Always telling yourself that I'll go back and rewatch that training because there's one small thing that I missed. Because even if you do go back and watch that training, the chance of you achieving that breakthrough that you're looking for is pretty unlikely. Because more than likely what you need is a new perspective, a new outlook, and a new way for you to gain clarity on the entire process that will allow you to step in and operate your business at levels that you didn't even think were possible before. And that's what this workshop's all about. So keep this in mind when you're making your next investment in your business. For those of you that want to avoid spending months testing new things, investing over $50,000, having a calendar booked full of unqualified prospects, just like I did early on. If you're experiencing this now, do yourself a favor. Stop doing it, because you have the opportunity right now to completely stop it. More than likely, what I've gone through myself, what I've been able to achieve myself, along with the perspectives that I've been able to gain through the coaching that I've invested in, will allow you to achieve the results you want 10 times more efficiently than you continuing to try to figure it out on your own or go back to that old program that you had. Do yourself a favor, reward your future self, and jump in on this workshop while you can, because I promise you, if you let it, and if you go on to it with the right mindset, it will change your business and change your life going forward. So if you want the details in the workshop, if you want to secure your final spot or one of the final spots, comment post to close below and let me know. Again, registration closes for this within the next 48 hours. The workshop kicks off Wednesday. Full replay will be available. The full breakdown is on the page, so when you comment, you'll see all of that. But whether you're investing into this workshop, another coaching program, whatever it is, always remember that when you're investing into developing high-income skills that you need to actually sustainably grow your business and hit your goals, no investment is a bad investment. The biggest thing is that you're aware of what skills that you need most right now, what needs to be developed, and where you're lacking clarity on. If you find someone that can help you give you that clarity that you need, jump on the opportunity, because you'll be sorry if you don't. And I'm offering that opportunity to you right now. For those of you that feel like you're not generating consistent leads in your business. For those of you that feel like you're not generating qualified leads in your business. For those of you that don't know how to take those leads and turn them into an actual sales opportunity and a closed sale. Because I'm taking you from Facebook posts to influx of hundreds of leads to a simple messenger conversation to a closed sale in this entire workshop. I'm not just showing you one element. I'm not just showing you how to generate leads and then not showing you how to actually turn it into a sale behind it. I'm taking you from post to close. And that's the reason that I call the workshop the Post to Close workshop. So on that note, I will wrap up this Mindset Monday. Be sure that you're putting yourself in a position to succeed in your business this week. Whether it be investing into this workshop, attending the workshop for those that jumped in and purchased it, or showing up in your business in general, be aware of where you're at, be aware of what you need, and go out and find it. You're one connection away from completely transforming your life. And the moment that we cling on to old things, staying stuck in the past, trying to make the most of an investment that we made 6 months to a year ago, is the moment that we will forever stay stuck in the spot that we're at. That's a wrap for today's Mindset Monday. I hope you all have a fantastic week and start to your week itself. And I look forward to seeing the 15 action takers that join me in the workshop going down this Wednesday. We'll see you guys.